Welcome to our 40 days of values-based spiritual living. This is the 40 days of Lent. This is our time that we are fasting on limiting and limiting ideas and beliefs that we've held, and instead focusing on the bounty of God. So fasting, getting rid of, releasing, limiting ideas and belief, and feasting on the bounty of God, making a commitment to yourself and to God as to what you want your life to stand for. This is a concentrated 40 days of other people watching, of other people participating, and all of us coming together to release what up until now has stood in our way and to step into the greater glory of God. And so far, for those of you who have been faithfully watching, and if you haven't, you can get caught up, we have had an awareness of the presence of God in our lives. We have taken accountability for our lives, for our thoughts, for our actions, for the circumstances that we've created. We have expressed orderliness in our lives, walked through orderliness so that we can experience this greater beauty and joy and power that is God when we experience orderliness. And our fourth day, we experienced inspiration, to allow God to inspire us by listening to God in so many ways, and taking that inspiration that fills us up and being an inspiration in the world, to be the person who encourages people, who brings some truth to a situation. That is being a person who inspires others. Well, today our word is connection. The word is connection, and to connect is to join, to bring together, to unite. Connection is that important thing that we have with God, that when we are connected with God, we experience our oneness with God. Now, the fact of the matter is that we are always connected with God, whether we realize it or not, whether we know it or not. We're always connected with God. But at some level within us, we need to have an awareness of that connection that we have with God. We are all connected with one another. We're all made of the same stuff. We're all made from and as these godly beings that we are. And yet we still create these illusions of separation in our lives. So I have found the paradox to be that when I deepen my connection with God through prayer and meditation, through reading spiritual truth, whatever tool I may use to deepen my connection with God, then I have a greater connection with people that I meet around me. I can't help but do that because I have this spiritual foundation to go out into the world and meet with and talk to people. But now here's the paradox, that it also works the other way. That if I make an effort, an intention to make that connection with other people, with people I know and love, and that's easy, but people that I don't know and sometimes don't feel very loving toward, but make that connection, then something in me is healed and I can be closer to God. So it goes both ways. So because this is the time of Lent, because this is the time that we talk about giving something up, what is it that we might want to give up when it relates to connection, as it relates to connection? Well, one of the things that we might want to give up is our desire to isolate, our desire to hide, our desire to get away from everybody. We just don't want anything to do with anybody. But when we do that, we miss a wonderful opportunity. I'm not saying that it's not okay, because it certainly is okay to have downtime, alone time, privacy, but to isolate and to hide is something different. Another thing that we might consider giving up is judgment, because it really is judgment that separates us from each other. Judgment. So here's a spiritual practice for you. Very simple spiritual practice, and maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime this week, when you're in a crowded place, maybe it's the DMV, maybe it's a restaurant or a grocery store or a club or even church, to go sit next to somebody that you don't know, to go sit or stand near someone that you wouldn't normally go sit or stand by. And as you're just in their presence, just check in with yourself. Check in with what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and see what's going on within you. And if you're feeling uncomfortable about it, that's a wonderful time to do some on-the-spot healing, to heal yourself of any misconceived ideas of separation, to heal yourself of any sense of judgment that you may have of yourself and of that person or who that person represents. It's an opportunity for forgiveness, on-the-spot healing, forgiveness on the spot. So if you think that it's hard to connect with somebody, just make it a practice, that you'll just make an easy conversation with someone, that you'll take the initiative to connect with somebody, to find something that you can talk about, something that you notice that's really neat about that person, that you can find something that you can listen to them about who they are and what they're about. And you'll be amazed at the connection that you make with them. So this day, this 5th day, is an opportunity for us to just connect with God, to connect with one another, to make that connection, and to heal, let go of any sense of separation that we may feel. So I'd like to close with this quote from Marianne Williamson. In each of us there lies a divine connection to a power more powerful than hate or violence. Today is the day to attune to that power and use it on behalf of peace on earth. Amen to that. I thank you for joining us, and I'll see you this time tomorrow.